If you test a PV array, you may occasionally find that 0 volts are displayed. What you see here is 0.1 volts. Generally, the string on the roof will be interrupted in such cases. This video will tell you what you can do in such cases. Hello, I'm Matthias Diehl from the Photovoltaics Bureau in Rüsselsheim, Germany. This is the second edition of our video blog, and as always, we're going to be troubleshooting PV arrays. And today we're focusing on the problem discussed at the beginning, a DC interruption. First, I would like to start by showing you our pvTector. I say that this is ours because I developed this along with a colleague from school, especially for the PV sector. The device basically tracks the signals just as similar equipment that usually used in the electronic sector does, except that we have tailored this specific unit to the needs of the PV sector. For instance, this device can handle up to 1000 volts, which normal units cannot. That's why we figured that we would have to come up with something like this ourselves, especially for PV arrays.
Dass man so ein Gerät entwickeln müsste und eben speziell für Photovoltaikzwecke verfügbar machen.
This is the transmitter, and this is the receiver. You go over the roof with this. I'll show you this in detail. Here's a space where you can put a spare battery. The battery is needed for the transmitter. We include one in the package, but you should always have a spare one on hand as well. And of course, there's a power cable. The cable is used to hook up the transmitter. As soon as it is hooked up, the battery inside it will begin recharging. And here we have the usual adapters, MC3 to MC4, and Sunny Clicks, so that you are ready for just about everything. 2 lab cables are also included. You can use them to connect the transmitter. And we've also included a ground adapter. I'll show you exactly what this does in just a minute. And of course, we need this tool to open up the MC4s.
Nicht fehlen dürfende Werkzeug, die MC3, die MC4 Stecker aufzumachen.
So let's get started, and I'll just show you how we do this, starting with the power cable. The really important thing is the ground contact.
Bereitgelegt habe. Der entscheidende
The signals are always sent
Kontakt für
through
den
the
normalen
ground.
Betrieb ist der Erdungskontakt. Die Signale werden immer gegen Erde eingestellt.
So we have plus and minus over the ground connection. We have 2 signals then that come out as audio signals.
Können also im hörbaren Bereich. Zusätzlich.
And as I said before, this will start charging now because it's plugged in. And these are the lab cables. And now you can see how this would work in practice. Let's spread these cables out a little bit. And where did I put the transmitter? Ah, not the transmitter, the receiver. Okay, and now you can hear the audio signal.
Das liebliche Geräusch hat bei uns den Kosenamen Quietsch.
We need a really obnoxious sound so that you can hear what's going on. Imagine that you have some noise from the road behind you where you're working. You'll be able to hear this really well. So here you see that you can hear the plus signal. And this is what the minus signal sounds like. So on location, we're going to have both signals at once, and that sounds like this. And as soon as we have an interruption somewhere, we'll get a different sound.
Kann man, indem man mit dem Gerät hier dran vorbeigeht, direkt mitbekommen.
And now you can hear that you only get the one or the other. So what do we do if you want to get up on the roof and make these measurements, but you don't have a power connection up there? This is quite a common situation. That's why we put a battery in this device. Then you only need to find a ground point. And so then you take this clamp and find somewhere
und hat eine
where you
Probezeit
can
und
ground the
jetzt
system.
Potenzial gehen. Ich nehme jetzt einfach mal hier von der Steckdose den Schutzleiterkontakt dafür. Und dann funktioniert
And then this works in battery mode. And so now I'm looking at an actual array around the inverter.
Und schließe den pvTector mal an.
I'm going to hook up the pvTector, and I'm using the MC3 MC4 adapter. Let's just make sure that we're getting the right signal. And you can clearly hear both of them. So this array is working pretty well.
Das ist also jetzt ein Solargeneratorstrang, wo oben alles in Ordnung ist.
And so now I've just come down from the array and I've built in an interruption, and now you can really hear it. The right one doesn't sound like the left one anymore. And now we would go up on the roof and start looking for this interruption. And so here we are up on the roof. Let's switch the receiver on, and we can already hear what's going on. The closer I get to it, the better you can hear it. So we're just going to walk across all of the panels, and at some point we're going to get just one of the two signals. Okay, this sounds like we found it, and you can really hear the comparison with the adjacent panel.
Zu diesem Modul wechselt der Ton, also muss hier die Unterbrechung sein. Und siehe
And
da,
there we have it.
hier ist die Verbindung offen.
And this will also work just as well if the disconnection is within the socket or if it's within the panel itself. So you don't need to unscrew everything and test every individual panel. You've found the panel.
Ohne sämtliche Module abschrauben zu müssen, hier wirklich entdecken, wo diese Fehler liegen.
So now I've hooked everything up properly again, and we once again have a mixed signal. And I'd like to show you one more function that's really practical. I can tell the difference between strings.
Ich kann erkennen, welcher Strang mit dem Signal beaufschlagt wird. Das Nachbarmodul hier ist nicht mehr mit dem Strang.
You can hear a difference in the loudness, and you hear this especially well when you switch this to low. We're getting some interference over here, but you can tell what panel belongs where.
Zuordnen, welches Modul dazugehört und welches nicht. Sollte noch ergänzt werden, dass man bei den Modulen, die nicht
And if we switch it on to high, you can hear the typical 50 hertz. And of course, the inverter has to be running for you to hear this. If one string is switched off, then the string that's still running will basically bleed into the others. And then it becomes really hard to tell one string from another. So you have to make sure all of the strings are working, and then you'll hear this 50 hertz buzzing, and then you can also hear the signal for what you're looking for.
Da muss dann das Signal angeschlossen sein.
The receiver also fits into the kind of a photo bag that you can find in most stores. This is practical if you need to put a hip bag on and climb up a ladder. The pvTector is made in Germany in small batches, and I think we've got a fair price. So there's not really a need to ask us for rebates if you order large numbers. We're not a giant corporation. We're just a small engineering firm. And the profits we make from this will be churned back into the next projects, all of it pertaining to troubleshooting on PV arrays. I'd love to hear from you if you're interested. So visit us at pvsurf.de, and you can see us in the web shop. There's a link down here under the video. You can just click on it. And if you have any questions, just drop us a line. What else should I add? Oh, if you have any criticism, especially constructive criticism, any ideas about what we should improve, or if you have some requirements we haven't thought of, you can either just drop us a comment below or visit us on our website. There are numerous ways to contact us there. I hope you enjoyed the video, and every video blogger enjoys getting some likes. And I look forward to seeing you next time.